good. You do a video about your non-orchid plants and completely forget some. Well, that's probably because they live up there and get completely forgotten. But I've got some air plants. Don't ask me what they're called. They did have names on once, but they were on tiny little bits of paper and they disintegrated. But they grow on. I've had blooms on them. They seem to be getting bigger as time goes on. They'd probably grow a lot better if I remembered they were there and remembered to throw them in a bucket of water now and again. But anyway, that's Hurricane Hector's up my trouser leg, so I've got to move now, otherwise I'll be soaking. It takes about 10 seconds to soak my jeans. Right, these film quizzes they're obviously far too easy. They're just too easy. So the one I'm going to add on the end now is it's from a bit of a cult film, really. And the expression is, I just do eyes. Don't forget to put it in context, you know, which particular character said it and under what circumstances, you know. The more you say, the more useless Roger points you get. It's just a bit of fun. But I was thinking of actually awarding actual points and keeping a list of who got points, but the trouble is, if there was an award of some sort at the end, you know, a useless Roger badge, it wouldn't be fair, because it's very easy to come in on a video 24 hours after it's been posted when all the comments with the answer are already there. So I can't do anything properly, but yeah, so see if you can sort that one out. And they really are going to start getting totally obscure from now on. I'm after one that I can come up with that nobody gets. That's my goal. The trouble is people got too much spare time on their hands and they're forever watching films. Well, there's nothing much on the telly, is there? See you next time. And before anybody says, what about the Spanish moss? I've also got some Spanish moss, which is another air plant. There's actually two types in this large bundle. There's a very, very fine version round here. This was in fact one of the first pieces I ever got. And then there's the chunkier stuff. There are types of Spanish moss that are even a lot more chunky than that, quite substantial really. There isn't one species, there are many. The nickname is Spanish moss, basically. Why, I'm not quite sure, because I'm not sure it actually grows in Spain, but maybe it does, I don't know. But given that it hangs in trees and being an air plant, its moisture is obtained from the air, I'm not sure there's many places in Spain that would be suitable for it. But this blooms every now and again. It has the tiniest little green flowers on it. Nonetheless, I've got bits of this in places that you wouldn't expect. There's some in there and some in there. And what they are, well, that one's actually growing. That one's grown right down through the roots. I'm surprised, because that's a Vanda, and that gets thrown in the Vanda bucket, and that's got a hell of a high level of feed in it. I'm surprised that doesn't kill an air plant. Makes you wonder whether they could do with a bit more feed than the books and stuff say. I mean, I've found that with other things, where I've got some what are bog plants out in the garden. They're marginal plants for ponds, and as such require very little feed. My daughter hooked a few out that had up my leg again, that had self-seeded in some cracks in the paving. She just hooked them out with a few roots and put them in a pot. So they now get watered with the rest of the tubs in the garden, which has got garden fertiliser in it. And that pot full have grown substantially. So sometimes I wonder about this, oh, these plants don't need much feed. And back to these up here. These normally get thrown in my watering bowl before I put the fertiliser in. Now I'm thinking that at least probably every other time, when I mix up my fertiliser for my low feeders, my Masdevallias, Draculas, etc., that's a relatively low level of feed. I think I'm going to start using that for my air plants and see if they push on a bit better, I think is the expression. we'll see how we go. Anyway, I'm working on some seriously obscure little film and TV quiz type things now, and I've just noticed that fan stopped, which means there's a wire off somewhere, so I will now have to delve into that, because it's important that my little computer fans in this area are running constantly. So there's obviously a wire off somewhere, unless the fan's just gone. I mean, it's, you know, they're dirt cheap computer fans. At the end of the day, they must have a lifespan, but I suspect, knowing my poor quality wiring, I've probably pulled a wire somewhere by moving something where the wires are, like moving the table or something. I'll sort that out, and yeah, I'll add this on the end. Hang on. It's alright, I just love pointing the camera at this set of colours because they're just so wrong. And yet, I don't know, somehow or other with plants they work. Just, I don't know, you know, orange with purpley pink is not the best combination. And in amongst that orange there's some yellow, there's some bronzy colours. And then you put that next to yellow with pink and a sort of rusty colour with some yellow, and yet because it's plants, somehow or other it works. You probably wouldn't want to decorate your lounge in those colours, but anyway, see you next time. I just thought I'd add that on the end.